Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Isa. I hope you stay subscribed. I do a lot of lifestyle / book related videos, so if you like that, go ahead and click the button down below. But today I'm finally filming my monthly reading wrap up, you guys. If you don't know, if you're new here, I was in a huge reading slump since like November of last year, and like literally at the middle of March, I randomly just got out of my slump. So I kind of went a little bit crazy and read a bunch of books, and I'm so happy about that. So today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in March. So I hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos, and let's get started. So I have a list on my phone with all my ratings, my thoughts, and all the books that I read. So I'm gonna start in the order that I read the books, you know. And I also want to say that a lot of these books I read on my Kindle, so I don't really have the paperbacks yet. I only have 3 paperbacks for today's video, but either way, let's get started. So the first book that I read that actually got me out of my reading slump, which is insane. So this is My Killer Vacation by Tessa, and I was so surprised when I received this book in the mail. I had no idea that this was coming, and oh my gosh, I am so grateful. Thank you, Tessa, for sending me your book. It got me out of my reading slump. So this is an arc, and it comes out, I think, May of this year. And this is kind of a romance, spicy romance book with kind of a murder mystery kind of thing. And it is very summer vibes. So I'm gonna give you the ratings of each book, what I thought about them, and read a little bit of the back of the book so you guys kind of know what the books are about, you know? I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. 1, because it got me out of my reading slump. 2, I loved the murder mystery part. 3, I loved the main characters. And 4, the spice was amazing. 5, the romance was amazing. I loved everything about this book. And 6, you should go pre-order this book right now. Okay, so I rate this book 5 stars, and let's read a little bit of the back of the book. In sweet, sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother. But discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench into our tanning schedule. Now a rude, crude bounty hunter has arrived on the back of his motorcycle to catch the killer and refuses to believe I can be helpful, despite countless hours of true crime podcast listening, not to mention a fulfilling teaching career of wrangling 2nd graders. So essentially the main characters are a 2nd grade teacher that goes on a vacation, and the main male character is a bounty hunter that is trying to solve the mystery, but together they solve the mystery. It's honestly really good. I had no idea who the killer was. I did not get it right. I thought it was one person, and I did not get it right, which I love because I don't want to know beforehand. I love the plot twist. And yeah, definitely I am so grateful that I got this book. Thank you again, Tessa. You made my month. Literally, you got me out of my reading slump, so I am so thankful. So after reading My Killer Vacation, I got out of my reading slump, and I decided to start a book series. But this is kind of a mafia dark romance kind of series by Sophie, Lark, and this is the Brutal Birthright series. I only have the first book in paperback, which is Brutal Prince. But this is the next one in the order that I've read them. I read first, obviously in order, Brutal Prince. I'm gonna leave the whole order of the series if you wanna know. But I read every single book of the series this month. This is the first book, Brutal Prince. It starts the entire series. The first couple is about Callum and Ada. So they are both from different mafia families. So essentially this world is set in Chicago. So this first book is an enemies to lovers arranged marriage, and let's read a little bit of the back of the book. Callum Griffin is the heir to the Irish mafia. He's ruthless, arrogant, and he wants to kill me. We got off on the wrong foot when I set a very small fire in his house. Our families believe a marriage pact is the only thing that will prevent like all-out warfare. So essentially these two main characters are from different families, different mafia families, but they make a pact. Callum and Ada have to get married. So it all works out, obviously, but it's so good. And what I love about this entire series is that it's not only about romance. Like a lot of like action, like suspense, and a lot of things happen that you just get hooked because you want to know what happens. So I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. Not the 5 stars because I wanted to like read the entire series and then like actually see which books were my favorites. So I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. Not my favorite, but it was a perfect introduction to the entire series. So I'm actually going to like go ahead and talk about all the other books because yeah. So the second book of the series is Stolen Heir. So this is my favorite book of the entire series. I don't know why I liked it so much, but I was hooked, like from the beginning. I was so hooked. I read this book in a day. Like it was so good. Like infinity. I rated it infinity out of 5, okay? Like it was so amazing. I'm gonna read what I like wrote in here. I read this book in a day, it was so amazing and I was hooked. Like I could not stop reading. I love this story so much. Miko and Nessa just make so much sense and it was amazing. So the two main characters are Miko, the guy, and Nessa, the girl. So essentially what the book is Miko getting revenge on the Griffin family for killing his father. So what he does is kidnap Nessa Griffin. So she is the youngest from the entire Griffin family and he decides that he was gonna kidnap her, take her to a big mansion at the outskirts of Chicago and basically blackmail the entire Griffin family. And obviously at the end they fall in love. It's such a good story. Like it's such a good story. I was so hooked. I loved it so much. I love Miko. I love the entire like couple and I don't know. It was intense. Like it was intense. But like that makes it so much better. Like I don't know. Then comes the third book, which is Savage Lover. So there's the Gallo family and the Griffin family. It's about Nero Gallo, so one of Ada's brothers. And this is very like Fast and Furious, like the movies kind of thing. That's the vibe. So if you like that kind of thing, I think that's gonna be like your favorite book because essentially Nero like loves cars, and he meets a girl who also loves cars. That's the vibe, you know, but it has a different plot and everything. It wasn't my favorite book from the series. I wouldn't say it's that like dark at all. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was my least favorite. Like I love Nero and the girl is named Camille. Like I love the two main characters, but just the entire like story and the plot was not my favorite. So yeah, that was the third book. Let's go to the fourth book, which is Bloody Heart, and this book is about Dante Gallo. So that is one of Ada's brothers. This is a second chance romance. So this is a very different book from like all of the other books because it tells the story of like Dante's first girlfriend and how that all went down, and it was a mess, but it was like very like heartbreaking, honestly, very heartbreaking. And then it jumps to 9 years later. So like the ex-girlfriend returns to Chicago and there's a whole lot of things. And I did really love this book. I loved the like the before and after. I love the second chance romance. I love Dante. He's like very grumpy, very grumpy. I don't know. I love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it was definitely very captivating. That's the word. The next book from the series, book number 5, is Broken Vow. Okay, so we've talked about Ada Gallo and the Gallo family, but now let's talk about the Griffin family. And now the 5th book has the last sibling of the story, which is Riona. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like in my head, I like it better Riona, but I don't know if it's Riona. I have no idea, but. And the main male character of the 5th book is Rylan, and he is Dante's friend. I loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like it was really cute. overall. Like, it was really, really cute. I did not think it was that kind of like dark romance. It just had a lot of suspense from the like plot and the story, which I loved. But overall, I felt that this was the cutest book from the entire series. But yeah, definitely very, very good. 5 out of 5 stars. And the last book, which I finished yesterday, and I did not cry with any of the books. And this last book, which is Heavy Crown, I cried. I was in shock. It was, to say the least, it was amazing, but really sad at the same time. Like, yeah. This book is about Sebastian Gallo. He finishes off the entire series. Basically, Sebastian Gallo meets the daughter of the Russian mafia, and they fall in love and they get married until everything goes to shit. Everything went to shit in 10 seconds. I was so shocked with the entire plot of this story, but it's so good. It's so freaking good. And I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was intense. Like, it was intense. I cried, but it was so good. Like, I loved every single part of this book. And if you don't know, if you have read this series, there's actually kind of like a spin-off. I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's a actual spin-off, but there's a series, an entire series of like their children. So that is the Kingmaker series, which I'm starting very soon. I feel like I've been talking about these books for the past 45 minutes. Okay, let's get to the other 2 books that are left, because those are the 2 other books, standalone books, that I read, because I spent so much time finishing this entire series. The next book that I read, I do have it in hardcover, and this is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. And honestly, this is, if I look at my review on my Instagram, because I did do like an entire review, this is what I said. So first, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it's amazing. This is the definition of a rom-com book for me. A book that is genuinely funny, romantic, and spicy. I lost track of how many times I laughed in this book. I loved it so much. I also loved learning about the culture in this book. It was perfection. It's so good. It's funny. Like, I laughed so much. I love the 2 main characters. I love the culture in this book. You learn a lot. I learned a lot of new different words. So the main female character is Karina. The main male character of the story is Prem. Karina dreams of having a love story like her parents, but she prefers restoring her classic card to swiping right on dating apps. When her father announces he's selling her late mother's home, Karina makes a deal with him. He'll gift her the house if she can get engaged in 4 months. But her search for a soulmate becomes impossible when her argument with Dr. Prem Verma, host of the Dr. Dill show, goes viral. Now the only man in her life is the one she doesn't want. Dr. Prem Verma is dedicated to building a local community health center, but he needs to get donors with deep pockets. The Dr. Dill show was doing just that until his argument with Karina went viral. That's when Karina's meddling aunties present Prem with a solution. Convince Karina he's her soulmate and he'll regain funding for his clinic. Even though his views on love matches and arranged matches conflict with hers, Prem finds the more he's with Karina, the more he begins to believe she's the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with. But for Prem and Karina to find their happily ever after, they must admit that hate has turned into fate. So it's a little bit of a enemies to lovers, but it's also kind of that fake dating with kind of like an arranged marriage kind of thing. I loved it. I loved it so much. Okay, and the last book that I read this month was a book that I had seen this book all over like spicy book talk. I did not think it was gonna be that spicy. Okay, this is Priceless by Miranda. So the entire story, I gave it 3.5 stars. The story is not it at all, but if you're there for the smut, then 5 out of 5 stars for this smut. You know what I mean? Like, I went into this book, honestly, not even thinking about the story. I just knew it was gonna be smutty. It was amazing. The smut is amazing. Again, the story was just okay. Like, if you were looking for a book, 80% smut, 20% story, this is the perfect book. Those were all the books that I read in March, and I am so happy that I'm finally out of my reading slump. But I'm gonna do a whole separate video on the books that I want to read in April, and yeah, I'm gonna give you the rundown of all the books that I have in my Kindle also, because I'm kind of like currently reading a lot on my Kindle. So really excited about that. Thank you all so much for watching this video if you're still here. I hope you got some new recommendations. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video, which is probably gonna be Saturday. I'm gonna try to upload Saturday, so yeah, I'll see you then. Bye!
Oh, corks and bottles, ready to pop out. Oh, no more crying. We are knocking out another year of new loves.